Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Astra Microwave Products Limited Q4 and FY22 earnings conference call. This conference call may contain forward-looking statements about the company which are based on the beliefs, opinions and expectations of the company as on date of this call. These statements are not guarantees of future performance and involve risks and uncertainties that are difficult to predict. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. S.G. Reddy, Managing Director. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everybody. A warm welcome to all of you for the post-results earnings call of our company. I am with my colleague, Mr. M.V. Reddy, Joint Managing Director, and SGA, our investor-related advisors. The results and investor presentation for the Q4 and the year ended 2022 are uploaded on our company website and stock exchanges. I hope you had a chance to look at it. As you are aware, we are in this business of supply of RF and microwave components and subsystems for the last 32 years, serving markets in the area of defense, space, telecom, meteorology and civilian applications. Over the years, our company has moved from components and subsystems to high value-added systems. The company was able to create a solid order book of close to 1,546 crores on back of our deep domain expertise. With our proven track record, we are very well placed to capture a bigger pie of the growing defense market, which is growing at a very fast pace on back of various government initiatives like IDDM and Make-II programs. Many of these programs are especially in the area of radars and electronic warfare systems, where Astra has a good expertise. We believe that going forward, our revenue mix will be in favor of domestic market as compared to the previous years, where it is skewed in favor of exports, which is a high volume and a low margin business. Therefore, we believe that going forward, the profitability of the company is likely to improve in a significant way. As shared with you in the last conference call, we are confident to book about 3,000 crores worth of orders by the year 2025, and out of a market potential of about 14,500 crores up to year 2028. Our order book as of 31st March 2022 is at about 1,546 crores, which is executable in the next 12 to 13 months. And during the year, the company has booked about 760 crore orders, with 77 crore order coming in Q4. We see newer opportunities in the area of anti-drone, EW systems, satellites, SDRs and electro-optics, which will add up to the order book and business potential of the company in the coming years. Coming to the specific financial performance of the company, for the year ended, we did about 735 crores of sales after adjusting the late delivery charges and other adjustments which are pertaining to the accounting standards. This is as against 589 crores of business what we did about in the year 21, which shows a growth of about 25% year on year. EBITDA for the year stood at 87 crores as against 64 crores for the previous year. The margins stands at about 11.8% as against 10.9% in previous year. EBITDA margins for exports is around 3% as against domestic margins of about 23%. The company has reported a profit after tax of about 40 crores for the year as against 24 crores for the previous year. The board of directors have recommended a dividend of about rupees 1.45, which is 70% for the year ended FY22. In terms of the sales executed, in terms of geographies, the domestic sales is about 53 crores and exports have contributed about 47%. Going forward, for the year 2023, we are confident to achieve about 850 crores of sales with an expected PBT of about 85 crores. This year, the composition is likely to be more in favor of domestic, which is likely to contribute about 65%, and the rest will be coming from exports. This is all what I can share with you as of now, and I open this call for the question and answers now.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 at this time. The first question is from the line of Vivek Ganguly from Nine Rivers Capital. Please go ahead.
You all have an order book of about 2,100 odd crores. And can you give the breakup between domestic and exports?
2,000 is, I think, consolidated.
No, you mean the order book you refer to is a consolidated one?
Yes.
Our standalone is only about 1,500 crores.
1,500, okay. And in that,
Yeah.
How much would be? So the remaining would be coming from the software-defined radio JV.
Yeah.
Okay. So within the 1,500 crores, how would it be between domestic and exports?
Domestic is about 1,002 crores, and
1,000?
the rest is the exports, around 540.
Okay, got it. Thank you. And so the domestic and export, both of them are on an average, executable over 12 to 14 months, or there would be the time span would be different for both?
Yeah, out of this 1,500 crores, we are trying to execute about 820 crores, and another 30 crores which are being booked in the first quarter. We are planning for execution. So out of this 1,500 crore backlog, we are executing around 820 crores.
Next year?
Yeah, the current year.
Okay. Current year, yeah, FY. Thank you. That's from my side.
Thank you. Reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Aarti Sharma from PCK Investments. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. My first question is regarding, in the past you have mentioned that for opportunities like anti-drone systems, electro-optics, there may be requirement to raise funds. Where are we on this?
No, this is still going on. Electro-optics, what we mentioned earlier is that we are in advanced stage of discussions with our JV partner, and this is a potential business opportunity for our JV company. That is what we have mentioned to you. The discussions are still going on, but as and when these things materializes, and if there is a requirement to raise the funds, definitely we will do that.
Okay, that was helpful. My second question is, can you share some updates on Astra Rafale JV in terms of order book and its performance in the year?
Total.
Yeah, coming to that. Alias revenues for the ARC. Okay. ARC revenues for the year is about 25 crores, It had just started executing these software-defined radios, which was in pipeline for the last 2 years. I think a small portion of those things were shipped to Rafael Israel. Because of that, it was able to record about 25 crores of revenues for the year, with a negative profit of about 5 crores for the year.
And we are expecting revenue of 200 crores in next 15 to 16 months.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. Next question is from the line of Ankit Agarwal from Art Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so I have a couple of questions here. So first one is, sir, on the geographic mix. So can you give some details with respect to margins on domestic and export sales?
No, you mean for the current year?
Yeah, current year.
Yeah, that I already mentioned. EBITDA margins for the exports is about 3%, and the domestic is about 23%.
Okay, and so as I understand, going forward, they're going to be targeting higher sales from domestic. But so do we see going into more high value products from the export side, other than say like build to print orders?
Yeah, actually, we are also discussing with various OEMs, in US and other territories. In fact, one of the customer, we are in a very active phase of discussions to develop subsystems for one of the airborne radar. That is, if it materializes, I think that would be a big order value. So that I think in maybe a couple of months, I think after that only we'll come to know about progress on that. Otherwise, yes, we have been discussing with few companies on build to spec also, apart from build to print for offsets.
Okay. And so continuing with the margins, we have seen that the raw material as a cost of percentage of sales has increased over the past 5-6 years. So how do we see it panning out in the future? Like, are we looking at alternate suppliers or something like that?
No, raw material, the increase in raw material cost is largely because of the sales mix. As I mentioned earlier, exports is a low margin, high volume business, and that was a major contributor for the last 3 years. Because of that, the overall raw material cost is on higher side. Going forward, definitely the raw material cost will be much lower compared to the overall sales of the company, simply because domestic sales are going to be higher compared to the export sales.
Okay, understood, sir. That answers my question, sir. All the best for the future.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Ketan Gandhi from Gandhi Securities. Please go ahead.
Sir, if I'm not wrong, you have said next year guidance around 850 crore of turnover and PBT of 85%. That is a growth of around 60-65% in the PBT. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. And sir, any guidance on the order book can be received during this financial year?
Yeah, Mr. M.V. Reddy will answer that.
Order book last year, that is FY22.
Future.
You want for the order book for the current year?
Yeah, order book guidance, yeah.
Order book guidance, okay. So this year we are targeting about 850 crores worth of orders inflow in this current year. In this, again, from radar segment, we have clear visibility to book orders worth of 475 crores, and from EW segment around 125 crores, and in communication and telemetry together around 150 crores. So to overall defense is close to around 740 crores, and then space is about 5 to 10 crores, not much, and meteorology around 50 crores. So these are all about the overall order book in the domestic sector. So close to around 795 crores we are planning to book, and whereas in exports around 55 crores we have orders in pipeline.
Thank you, sir. That answers my question.
Thank you.
Thank you. Reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. Next question is from the line of Abhijit Mitra from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for taking my question. Just to understand, the order book guidance that you see for the next 3 years, I mean, how much of that would be radars, and what are the near-term execution orders that you see in radars, and also within the defense capital acquisition budget of the country, how much would be dedicated towards radars? Any broad idea? These are the 3 questions which I have. And also some of the competitors have also started talking up about potential orders in the radar segment, especially coming from HAL. So I'm just trying to understand for this entire LCA platform, Mark 1A, barring Uttam, ESA, this, any other electronic warfare, we are sort of a vendor, a potential vendor too. Some thoughts on that would be great.
Yeah, we have a potential of close to around 600 crores. Out of that, we are expecting to book around 475 crores from the radar segment, as I mentioned earlier. And in electronic warfare is about 125 crores. So as far as the projects are concerned, as we have been informing you that we have been developing AAU for AESA radar, which is almost is getting ready within another couple of weeks. Probably we'll be delivering it to DRDO. And we are expecting the production orders for that AESA Uttam radar AAU, maybe from FY23 onwards, FY24 onwards. And other radars, like we have been working for synthetic aperture radar, and also we are working for digital active phase radar, and we are working for long range radar. And these are all subsystems what we have been working with the DRDO. Apart from that, as we have mentioned earlier, we've been working the entire system. One is on the coastal surveillance radar, which we got TOT basic technology from DRDO. We have been working on that to meet the end user requirement that has both domestic as well as export potential. And also we are working on the ground penetration radar. Again, this is also basic TOT, we got it from DRDO. Then proactively we have in-house started developing on bird detection radar. This is again to meet that defense acquisition projects what you have mentioned earlier. So we are working on that. And then counter drone system, in that we have taken up the radar development. The basic design we have taken from DRDO, but we are optimizing the design of the total radar in order to meet the end user requirement with a very competitive price. Then we are also working on the instrumentation radar like PATM, that is the telemetry radar, and then also the multifunction AESA radar, which PATM is almost FAT is being completed. Now FAT acceptance test is going on. Whereas multifunction AESA radar is almost nearing completion stage. So these are the few radars which I have mentioned of, both subsystems as well as systems what we have been taking up development. On the other side, on the guided weapons, we have been working for various programs like AESA Seekers, what we have taken up development, which we are hopeful to complete the prototype development in the current year. And we are likely to book production orders from FY25 onwards. Similarly, the other projects we have taken up which are under development, like one is the terahertz proximity sensor. This is for advanced version of guided weapon program, which we are working with the DRDO. And also another project called the course correction fuse. This we got it under the Technology Demonstration Fund. This is also almost advanced stage of development. And as far as electronic warfare is concerned, we are expecting a good number of orders this year, especially the naval EW programs like Nayan and Shakti from Bell, Hyderabad. And then also we are into various Navy and Army EW systems development programs. We have been working with DRDO to develop subsystems. And these are all major, products what we have been asked. Apart from that, the Doppler weather radar, which we have already executed for the Indian Meteorology Department, initial contract of 10 members. Recently, we bagged one more radar for from DRDO, and also we participated, few more radars from Indian Meteorology Department. Yeah, I think I have answered your question.
No, so just to understand the 3,000 crores to 4,000 crores of potential order inflow for the next 3 to 4 years, how much of that is radar? I didn't get it, sorry. How much of that would be radars?
In that 3,000 crores, I think it's close to about 2,000 crores is from radar segment.
Okay, and the majority would be this radars for the anti-drone system, is it?
All subsystems and systems put together I'm talking about.
Okay, got it. And just to understand the customer-wise mix, because many of the competitors have started giving those mix. So in terms of say DRDO, HAL, BEL, how would you break it up for this year for the domestic component that you have achieved, and how do you see what are the key customers that you see coming up in that list on FY23?
In FY23, the production orders what we are trying to book is from DRDO for AEWC radar systems, and then Atulia. Of course, this is from BEL Bangalore, and where we are there in the subsystems. To go for some few numbers from DRDO, and then flight control radar is about Atulia, so this I already mentioned. Then LRSAM program, where we are participating for the development program. So these are the few radars which we are into DRDO as well as production orders from BEL.
Okay. Great. Thanks. That's all from my side.
Thank you. Participants, to ask a question, you may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Akshay Kothari from Envision Capital Services. Please go ahead.
For the opportunity. So I just wanted to know that regarding orders from DRDO, what is the process exactly followed, like designing or development? How much of it is done by us, and how much of it is done by DRDO or outsourced, and are these development being done indigenously, or how does it go?
Basically, you're talking about subsystems or for a system?
Both, systems, subsystems, both.
See, basically, DRDO floats the tender with the specifications of the subsystem. And of course, we are in competition with other players in this area. So we have to prove our technical competency in that particular product during the TEC. And once we get qualified, and if we are commercially competent, like we are successful, and we get this order. This is the process. What DRDO is following it up as far as the subsystems is concerned. System also, like they've been evaluating companies, and they're identifying companies who has this potential to develop this particular products, and they're floating these tenders in a limited basis. Then thereafter, whosoever is commercially get this thing, and then they either distribute to one or two. It all depends upon the various RFP requirements.
Okay. And designing is done by us only, or are we outsourcing it?
Yeah, as far as subsystem is concerned, all the design and development will be carried out by us only. We only, we get specifications from DRDO.
Okay, that's great. And so correct me if I'm wrong. I think you mentioned that our order execution cycle is around 12 to 13 months. Is that right?
Yeah, actually, it was around 8 to 10 months, but now due to the crisis of the components and other issues, it is slightly now gone behind 10 months. I think it is roughly around 12 months.
Okay, so we have an order book of 1546 crores, the standalone one. So our next year revenue guidance should be around the order book only, because 12 months would be the order execution cycle, right?
Yeah, whatever orders we book for the current year, I think most of them will come for execution in the next year. Some of them at least.
Okay, so you have guided a revenue of around 850 crores, so that doesn't add up. So where am I going wrong?
So we have an order book of about 1546 crores out of that, and potential order book of about 850 crores for the year. That will make up close to about 2,300 crore order book of the company. Out of that, we will be executing about 850 crores by the end of the financial year, which leaves a carryover order book of about 1,600 crores. That is a math.
Okay, I understand that. Thanks a lot. And lastly, on the working capital cycle, so how are we planning to, reduce this working capital cycle? And I understand that going forward, we would be doing more of domestic business. So I think our working capital cycle would be elongated on that. So your views on that front?
See, there's no other option like, whatever way you can minimize that working capital cycle, we have to do that. A major portion of that goes in procurement of the raw material. The realization is not an issue, because as long as your final product is meeting the specifications, we should be able to get in about 90 days time. So realization is not an issue, but we have to invest in sourcing the materials, storing them for the duration of the project. That is where your maximum fund requirement is going to come in.
Okay, and how much percentage of the project cost do we get as an advance from our customers?
If it is a development order, we get about 20%.
From 15 to 25%.
15 to 25% we get from DRDO labs. But generally for the production orders, there is no advance. I am talking about the domestic business.
Okay. And so could you give the breakup for the revenue mix as a percentage of development order and production revenue?
The development revenue may be about around 15 to 20% in a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it from my side. Thanks a lot and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, to ask a question, you may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Bhavik Shah from MK Ventures. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello sir, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we saw like a margin hit in this quarter. So was it on account of the raw material pressure we are witnessing?
No, see in this quarter again, exports is a significant one where the value addition is very less. And also a couple of huge contracts from Yelta, one of the Israeli customer, got closed in the current quarter. So there were some adjustments to be carried out in terms of the bill of material, because all these contracts carry a bill of material guarantee from either side. If there is an increase of bill of material, I will be compensated. If there is a saving in bill of material, then I have to repay to my customer. So because of that adjustment, the export revenue, export profitability got a hit in the quarter. So that is the reason why the revenues, the overall profitability is low in the Q4.
Okay, so basically we pass on the raw material inflation cost if there is any, right?
Yeah. In fact, in some contracts we got it, in some contracts we have to pay them. Unfortunately, this quarter the net adjustment was in their favor.
Okay, so like what percentage of our order book will have this RM inflation being passed on?
This raw material guarantee is there only for export orders, not for the domestic one.
Okay, so in domestic orders we need to take the hit, right?
Yeah, we have to. There is no guarantee for export.
So are we facing some RM pressure in Q1, like?
Can you repeat this last question? I didn't get you.
So are we witnessing any steep increase in raw material inflation during the first quarter of 23?
No, again, it depends on the overall sales that we are likely to execute. We have projected to do about 175 crores of sales in Q1. Okay. Out of that, exports are going to be close to about 50 to 60 crores.
Okay.
So it all depends on the product. I don't have the exact breakup for the Q1.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
The exports are going to be about 82 crores out of 175. Therefore, probably the overall raw material cost will be higher in Q1, which is likely to get reduced gradually as we move forward.
Okay, so got it. And so in JV, we have witnessed a loss of 5 crores. So in FY23, we are executing around 200 crores there. So will there still be a loss, or will that JV turn profitable?
JV is likely to turn profitable at the end of 2023 financial year. Yeah. There will be a small profit at the end of the year, but 23-24 it should be reasonably good profits will be there in the JV.
Okay. And sir, in the same JV, we have invested 30 crores for SDR, right?
Yeah.
So are we going to see any revenues from there, or is this just the previous orders which we are going to fulfill?
No, this SDR is in the development stage for Army, Indian Army, which we have participated. That revenue will come only after once we are successful in this tender.
Okay.
Otherwise, today what RK, that our joint venture is executing, is the order which they backed almost 4 years back.
Okay, right, sir. Right. And so, are we facing any challenges in execution of the order book? Because we have a strong order book of around 1550 crores, but we have guided for around 850 crores. And our general execution period is 12 to 18 months. So are we facing any executionary challenges? Are there something?
Actually, in this, the cycle time, as per the customer requirement, few contracts are there for up to 54 months. So based on the milestones, the schedules, we have taken the orders for the execution. So for the current year, we are expecting around 850. And of course, there is a scope to increase little, but it all depends on the components availability. As I mentioned, we have issue of available semiconductors. They are taking almost 8 to 10 months. So with that, I think we are trying to restrict these sales. Otherwise, slight scope in increasing revenue for this year.
Right. And so my last question is on the anti-drone system, we had invested around 15 crores. So is there any update on that?
No, anti-drone we have not invested anything now. We are just working on that.
Okay, we are still in the development phase. We are not
Yes. It is in development phase. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Shantanu Chatterjee from Mount Intra Finance. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for providing this opportunity. My question is, sir, as we are trying to transform from a subsystem player to a system player, want to know, sir, how much order book we have got from the whole system platform?
The whole system platform, as we mentioned, we booked some orders for the instrumentation data, which is close to about, I would say, 150 crores.
Okay, out of 1,500 crore.
Yeah, this is the 150 crores is about entire systems.
Okay. And sir, as you have already mentioned just a few minutes back, when I am looking after your this quarter result, your top line is not moving up. Is there any execution issue? As you have mentioned, the semiconductor could be one of the reasons. Is there any other issue for which the execution is not up to the mark, sir? I'm talking about year-on-year basis.
Yeah, actually, as I said, few contracts which we have bagged need to be executed from FY24 onwards. So that is, leaving apart the long duration contracts. The other contracts, the production contracts, most of them are we are trying to execute. Only few contracts we are doubtful because of lead time of the components. In fact, space contract which we backed it, in that the lead time of components is more than 20 months. So because of that, we had to shift the entire contract to the next financial year. So the major issue is the long lead time of components which are being faced as a global crisis is going on, and hopefully this will improve. I think maybe, as I said, that we have a little scope to improve on the figures what we have indicated now.
Okay. And sir, as you have presented in your presentation, we have got 4 different business verticals: defense, public, space, meteorological, and exports. Sir, can you give us the margin profile of different business verticals?
See, defense and space, the domestic margins around 40%. That is sales minus material cost. Metrology will be around 30 to 35%. Yeah, that's it. Whereas the exports, the gross margins are around 8%.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Jitesh Patel from SS Securities. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity. I have a couple of questions. My first one is, there is a significant increase in your other expense as compared to last year. Are there any one-off in this, and what kind of a margin do you expect in the future?
Yeah, in the current year order book, as I mentioned, most of them are from the domestic sector, except 55 crores the exports. The rest are from the domestic sector, which has a reasonably good contribution or margin. In this, the breakup I think I have already given, but anyway I'll repeat for this. About 475 crores from the radar, and 125 crores from the EW, and about 150 crores from the communication fee.
And out of this 1,500 crores of this order book, can you provide a breakup of this?
This defense is about 754 crores. In that, radar is around 409, and electronic warfare is about 143, and telemetry and communications is about 200 crores. Then space, we have on board as well as for the ground application, both put together around 200 crores, and meteorology around 42 crores. So overall domestic is around 1,002 crores, and exports we have about 540 crores.
And additional 800 crores what you are going to apply, that would be in which segment primarily?
Yeah, defense. That's what I said. Okay. Defense, that too in particularly radar.
Radar, okay.
Yeah.
That is helpful. Thank you for giving an opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Nuriya Verma from JR Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. I have 2 questions. Firstly, in the presentation, the company has mentioned that the business potential till 2028 is rupees 14,500 crores. So just wanted to understand the basis of coming up with this quantum of business potential and the foresight for the next 6 years.
Yeah, actually, based on the opportunities what we are seeing in our domain, like especially in the radar area and also in the electronic warfare missile segment, there's ample of opportunities for a company like us to grow in this domain, and majority of development contracts which we have executed are going for production, like Army Akash and then Astra missile program. And as far as the radars are concerned, then flight control radar, which is of course being executed by BEL, and then QRSAM radar, and then also the AWNC, which in fact has been already sanctioned. There we are there in the primary radar, most of the subsystem being supplied by Astra. And in the EW segment, we have production orders from BL. Most of them are from Navy and Army EW projects. So in that, again, it's close to worth of about 1,500 crores to 2,000 crores worth of potential is there. And space, of course, we have taken only RSI series satellites for next 4 or 5 years based on the projections, what we have received. It's worth of about 500 to 600 crores worth of orders we are likely to book another 3 years. But the majority of orders, basically we are trying to get it from radar segment, which is close to about 10,000 crores. That includes the entire systems like coastal surveillance radar and counter drone systems and other radars, which in fact MOD is planning to release RFPs like bird detection radar, and like the various programs are there.
Okay. And so you've given a guidance of 850 crores with a 10% margin. So this would mean good growth on revenue. Where are we seeing this growth coming from?
850 crores, the projection is made out of the existing order book. And the growth in margins is coming in because this year the domestic is going to be the major one compared to the exports. And hence there is an improvement in the gross margins for the company.
Okay. Thank you, sir. That was helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ketan Gandhi from Gandhi Securities. Please go ahead.
Sir, I'm looking at the presentation, slide 22, where you mentioned about that by doing extensive investments to strengthen our position as a system vendor, exploring the areas in the anti-drone, EW, satellites, SDRs, and so. So I believe company will be in requirement of the additional capital. Any plan to raise the capital by way of equity issue or some other means in the near future?
Yeah, we have thoughts on those lines, but as of today, no, I don't have any firm plans to share with you. But going forward, yes, we are aware that we are in need of some capital resources if those ideas are to be implemented.
So can you please mention the timeline? I mean, if you don't mind, say 1 year or 2 year or 6 months.
Probably in 1 year's time, we have to take a call on that and come out with some proposal.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Suraj Kumar, individual investor. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity, sir. I want to know about the finance cost in consolidated profit and loss statement. Finance cost had reduced. What is the reason?
Finance cost is reduced because the company was able to rotate the funds better, and utilization of the overdraft facility for day-to-day operations has come down compared to the previous year. So that is the reason why it has come down.
Okay, sir. One more thing. Government has declared that the performance bank guarantee will not be required more for defense company. What is your view on this, sir?
I think as of today, they have only reduced the percentage of the performance guarantee what was submitted earlier. Earlier, they used to ask for about 10%. Now that got reduced to around 3 or 5%. I don't think totally it was taken out.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Participants, to ask a question, you may press star and 1. Reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. As there are no further questions from the participants, I now hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Thank you everybody for joining the call. We wish to see you at the end of Q1. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Astra Microwave Products Limited, that concludes this conference call. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.